What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. And a lot of you guys have been having trouble with this title update. The fatigue glitch that EA Sports put out with Season 4 has been a nightmare in a lot of different instances. So we're going to go over that right now, and I'm going to show you guys what's actually happening. Pretty much, if your players are too light in the butt cheeks, they are not going to be able to maintain their stamina. Because of this situation, I had to get rid of a few people. Let me just talk about a few reasons why players like LT and certain other cards are not going to be useful right now if you use them as down linemen. If they are outside, let's say for instance you're running like a 3-4 and they're the outside linebackers. If you run 4-3-6-1 and they're the outside linebackers at the end of it, they don't go up against those big, huge, fat linemen. Okay, so they're gonna have some opportunities to not get as fatigued. So just to kind of give you guys some insight on what's been going on, right? I raid sold a few dudes. Derek Thomas I raid sold. Julius Peppers I bought, but then I had to resell him because I'm using his safety. But he's actually really good because of his weight. He's about 295 pounds, so it works out in that situation to not get fatigued against the bigger linemen, because once they outweigh them by a certain amount, they're done. So let's just say 260 is the minimum that we're using going forward. A lot of the players that you're going to see are going to be put up in price because of that. Because this upgrade, not the upgrade, the title update is so, it's so ridiculous when it comes to the overall fatigue on defense. You have to make adjustments. Also, you're going to have to focus in on rotating players now. So in certain cases, we never cared about rotating players. I've been playing MUT for a very long time. I've never had to take a player out because he was tired and then put him back in. Maybe once or twice when EA Sports put out, different patches that were stupid in the past that may have happened, but it's not typical. Okay, so the reason that I'm pointing all of this out to you right now is so that you thoroughly understand what we had to do. We had to put the heavier players into the lineup to make it work. Now remember, dollar still works, but only the loop blitz. You pinch the line, the middle linebacker on the left is coming straight in, or the sub linebacker. Dollar still works, but the edge guys like DB Fire, those guys get stood up by the outside lineman now, but the loop still actually works. So just to give you an assessment, the reason that it's working is because people are utilizing heavier linemen. All right, so what do I mean by heavier linemen? David Bakhtiari, the out of position player, he's over 300 pounds, right? So he does not fatigue like Micah Parsons, who's a lot lighter. All right, so I had to move. Micah Parsons can no longer play in that inside. Now, you might get away with it in certain formations, 3-3. I've noticed that there hasn't been a lot of fatigue in 3-3, and certain things where you pinch the line, they kind of get away with it because sometimes they go up against lighter guards. But if they go up against a guy like Larry Allen or any of the heavier, bigger, fatter linemen, they're going to get fatigued if they're under 260. All right, so these players that I'm utilizing now in my lineup, Kyle Williams, these guys are 300 pounds plus. So you'll notice in the game, they're not getting tired, right? You'll see them go like light blue, but they won't get red and dark blue and stupid like a lot of the other cards that we were using before that were faster and we thought we could just get away with it. Ed 2 Tall Jones, I'm just giving you guys some insight. Check the attributes, check the weight. He's over 260, so he's not fatiguing. He actually goes pretty crazy, and he's tall. So, it works out pretty well for me with the way that he plays. T Sizzle is on the outside. He doesn't generally get fatigued, just so you guys know, but he's a bigger linebacker. You know what I'm saying? At 265, he's above 260. It seems like those guys have a lot more success, and anything under 260, it just gets worse. But it also matters who they're going up against. If the linemen are like this guy right here, Trenton Brown, and remember I told you guys about him 2 months ago, and you guys are like, yo, G, he's kind of slow. This guy is eating dudes up off the edge, bro. Like, it's real nasty work. If you go up against Trent Brown and you got Micah Parsons, he's gonna stand there like a statue. Okay, just so you guys know. So this is why I was telling you guys before. When I figure something out, usually it's live on stream and I'm able to just display it right away and show you guys what's going on. I try to make sure that my viewers understand thoroughly what's happening, because some of you guys are like, yo, G, why do you have this guy? Why do you have, it's always a reason why it's there. But now it makes even more sense offensively to have the bigger, fatter lineman. Now, because Roquan Smith is a little bit more light in the butt cheeks, he's 236. How do we fix this, right? We have to give him the recuperation as an ability. He has to get recuperation, because although he'll get tired and he's an outside, he plays outside linebacker for me on the left. he'll still get tired because he'll once in a while run up against a really fat left tackle, right? And then his stamina will just deplete. Then when you like flip the play back and forth, flip the play back and forth, recuperation will help him get his stamina back. So in certain cases where you want to keep a specific player because of his traits and his stats, you're going to have to give him recuperation. There's no way around it. You cannot stop this glitch. Now, EA may fine tune it where players like this are not getting as tired, because realistically speaking, right, players like Patrick Willis and a lot of these middle linebackers, Ray Lewis, they never left the field, bro. They were always on the field, and they weren't pouting like a 2-year-old after they ran around the house a little bit. They were ready to go. EA Sports always overdo it. That's pretty much what they do. They overdo it, and it gets really disgusting. And that's what they've done right now. So as of this moment, right, I don't know if their next update will fine tune it a little bit better to make it so that they can distinguish where the players are playing. I highly doubt it. Okay, I think them doing this is just to tune down a lot of what was going on with the corner blitzes and the corners running in up against 6'10" linemen and just going wild. I think that was the major, pull that they were trying to get done with it, and they have done that. But now we have to be smarter with it, right? So look what I've done now, right? Micah Parsons will come in sometimes as a sub, depending on what my inside players are doing and how we have to maneuver it, okay? But then I have backups now, all right? Reggie White, he's a big dude, bro. 291. He comes in and he'll rotate, and for whatever reason, some of my lighter players get tired. He's going up against all those linemen, and only a few of the bigger guys like the Trent Brown and a couple other ones really maximally outweigh this guy. So he doesn't really get fatigued. And I know he's only 85 speed, but you're only using him so that the other players can get free. You see what I'm saying? You're using your down linemen so that the other players can now maneuver around. People that are still utilizing their same defensive players don't understand what's going on, and they're getting tired and losing a lot more games. Meanwhile, my viewers are winning Super Bowls, okay, because they've seen me do it live on stream. They understand the premise. So now you're just looking overall at the weight. So Terry Tate is another backup. If you guys still have him from the Most Feared, he's still a guy that's at 260 at that threshold. So he doesn't tire out quickly. So that's the number that you're pretty much looking for. Anything under that, I'm not going to guarantee that the players are not going to get tired. As far as my user, I've seen some people complaining about Harold Carmichael. I'm not worried about him because I user him and I avoid contact with linemen. I'm just running around in the backfield. As long as you run around in the backfield and you don't make contact with the lineman, his stamina will not be depleted. And also, for those of you guys that are asking if the stamina attribute actually matters, no, it does not when it comes to the other lighter linemen, because some of them have high stamina, but once you go up against one of the bigger offensive linemen, you still deplete your stamina heavily. So that's what I'm going to want you guys to do. You're going to want to keep the weight at a minimum of 260 and get the bigger, stout players for your down linemen. And then on the outside, you can vary and do whatever you want to do as far as outside linebackers, because they don't fatigue as much, but they do actually get tired. If you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to leave it. My members, you know what it is. I'm going to hit you guys up later. You guys have a blessed day. Until next time, one love, y'all.